Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shanna Haley Show. First off, this popcorn bucket has been in quite a few of my December videos. I got it at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's a popcorn bucket. Can we talk about how much space it has though? Because it goes all the way up into the hat, and then you have the back of the head. Comparing, like, I'm not gonna pull my Toothless popcorn bucket down, but comparing it to Toothless, who's, yeah, like the full body, and then the head is really big, and it's only like the back of the head. I partly understand, but at the same time, it's just like, I need space for popcorn. That's the reason why you have a popcorn bucket, so you're not carrying around a bag of popcorn. Anyway, I digress. But speaking of our friend the Grinch, this is the Book Tag Tuesdays for December, and specifically, this is the Grinch book tag. This will be fun. I did kind of plan this out a little bit, and I didn't feel like grabbing the books either because I didn't have them on my bookshelf, or I just didn't want to grab the books I did have. So just deal with me giving out the titles and authors. And I have tagged the original video and the creator of this tag in the description, so go give that video a watch and give that creator a little bit of attention as well. But with all that said, let's get into the Grinch book tag. The first prompt is, half of the lights on the Christmas tree are burnt out. Name a book, series, or character that started out good but went downhill. I can think of characters that went downhill, but those are more like TV series rather than books. But I'm gonna go with like a book series, and that's Serena Valentino's Disney Villains series, like with Queen and Hades came out recently, and also Gaston and the Beast and Ursula. I feel like that started out with really good potential, because this could have been my misunderstanding it and not really reading the description properly. But the way I went into it, that first book with Evil Queen, like fairest of them all, I think, I was under the impression that this book was a series of interconnected standalones like the Disney Twisted Tales are, but I was under the impression that this Disney Villain series was a series of interconnected standalones about the origins of the villains, but it was not that. The first book was, the second book kind of was, and then it was just a situation where it went downhill. And the thing with the third book, The Beast, was that the Beast was more of an anti-hero rather than a villain, and there were certain scenes in that where it was like, that wasn't necessary. I'm gonna keep this spoiler free, but once it got to like book 2 and then book 3, you see these recurring characters like the three sisters who are so annoying. Wasn't there? Okay, so like the very last prompt, but the thing is I can't include these characters for that last prompt because they're technically the villains of the series. These three sisters were witches, I guess. They get progressively more annoying with each book, and they're there to create drama, and they're there to be the villains, but it's like they're not annoying in a good way. There's like those characters that are written annoying, meant to be annoying, and written to be annoying in that good way, but these three sisters are not that. And this series also kind of got to a point where I was under the impression that it was a series of interconnected standalones under the premise of villain origin stories, which was not that. Anyway, next prompt, because I don't want to keep talking about it, is annoying great Aunt Sally who will not leave you alone. Name a book that you didn't enjoy but everyone else seems to love, so it never goes away. Part of this is on me because I do follow a few creators who do really love this book, and my taste usually kind of lines up with them, where it's like if they like a book, then I'll probably like it too. And that the book that I did not like though was Guild by Raven Kennedy. I understand why people like it, I just didn't, like, it wasn't working for me. So just, it never goes away on my feed because I follow creators who did like it, and I follow the creators because I like their content, and usually, like I said, my taste lines up with them. So the book never goes away from me. The next prompt is, your pets keep knocking over Christmas decorations. Name a character that kept messing things up for everyone, but it can't be a villain. I'm blanking on this character's name, but there was a side character in The 3 Lives of Alex St. Pierre by Natasha Lester. There was a side character in that, a female side character. She kept messing shit up and messing with shit, and it was so annoying, and I wanted to strangle her. I don't remember her name though. The next prompt is, you hear your parents putting out the presents and learn that Santa isn't real. Name a book that you were spoiled spoiled for. For me, I haven't I'm kind of iffy with spoilers, where it's I don't mind them. I would rather not get them, but because I'm on social media a lot, I know I'm going to get them, so it's I'm not going to try to avoid spoilers, but I'm also not going to go actively looking for spoilers. But this one spoiler, I was disappointed to get because it was in the freaking description of the book, the synopsis of the book. I would have rather learned about it while reading, and that was for Almost There by Farrah Rashan. This is a Disney twisted tale that answers the question of what if Tiana had made a deal with Facilier. And again, this is in the description of the book, so you can't get on my case for this. Basically, part of the deal is that Tiana's dad comes back to life as part of the deal, and I wish I had learned about that while reading the book, because it's that's kind of the point. You're supposed to learn about it as you're reading, and all you really needed to know is that she made a deal with Facilier that kind of helped her get her restaurant, and as well as some other things like her dad coming back. Learned about that in the synopsis, which really disappointed me. Now, the next prompt is, it's freezing outside, name a main character you just couldn't connect with. For me, this was The God of the Woods by Liv Moore. I'm blanking on the main character's name because there are a couple, but there was the girl character, I think, or one of the girls. I'm blanking on her name. And it just, I wanted to connect with her, but I couldn't. And maybe it was just the situation where it's the time that the book is set in and the age of many of the main characters, or the main set of protagonists, So it might not have been the book itself. The next prompt is Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it's giving you anti-romantic feelings. Name a couple you just couldn't stand. Now, I will say that I do get very annoyed by Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You because it's so overplayed. This isn't to say that Mariah Carey is a bad artist or that song is a bad song. It's not. It's an enjoyable song. It's catchy, and it's understandable why people like it. However, it is so freaking overplayed every single year, and there are so many other songs that are way better than that and way more Christmassy, in my opinion, than that. I mean, I know it's All I Want for Christmas Is You, but there are some songs that embody the Christmas spirit more, both romance-wise and just Christmas. But to answer the prompt, I cannot think of a couple specifically that I couldn't stand, but for me, it would be literally any couple in a romance book, especially YA romance, because one, I cannot stand romance unless it's a subplot, and two, oftentimes they're having the tropes that I absolutely detest, like miscommunication. The next prompt is that scratchy homemade wool sweater you got for Christmas years ago but won't get rid of. Show some books that have been sitting on your shelves for a while but you aren't motivated to read, but also don't have the heart to get rid of. For me, this is The Princess Bride by William Golding. I really love the movie, and I would love to read the book. It's not that I'm not motivated. It's partially that I'm not motivated. But a large part of it, I've heard that the book is not as good as the movie, that the movie is better, and I don't want to be disappointed by the book, so I'm holding on to the book and not reading it. The next prompt is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer, and it is name a character death you are still mad about. Warn people for spoilers. You can also use TV or movie death. I'm not going to say who, but I talked about it in my November post-birthday reading vlog, but there is a character death that happens in The Shadow of the Gods, chapter 16, 17-ish, around there maybe, and I am so upset about this because I loved this side character, and I wanted him to stay on. It is a him. The next prompt is the malls are overly crowded with holiday shoppers. Name a series that has too many books in it or went on too long. For me, there are two. And there are two because one is the Soraya Valentino Disney Villain series, and I didn't really want to repeat it, but I did want to include it in here because considering how not so great it is, and I know it's YA, but still, well, maybe not even YA, maybe more middle grade, but I know it's meant to cater to a younger audience, but still including it here. My main answer is the Black Butler manga series that has way too many books in it, way too many novels in it. Don't get me wrong, when I was watching Black Butler, I absolutely loved it. I did love the manga for what I read, but the story is going on too long, and I understand it's a big moneymaker for the mangaka and the publisher. However, it is something that they could do where they could stop Black Butler series, but start another series within that same world. Talk about the Grim Reapers, talk about the angels and the demons, focus on another family who had a demon for a butler. So it's just there are other stories that they could do within that world because of how rich it is. Like, I loved that series, and I love the whole setting for it and the characters. And you could see characters from the Black Butler series in other series that the mangaka writes. We're not going to get that, and it's going to continue. And part of it too is that with the Black Butler manga series is that it got to a point where I feel like the mangaka was running out of ideas for the series, which is a good sign to end the series. But instead of doing that, because it is a moneymaker, she started including fan theories, and one of them I really did not like. I'm not going to spoil it, but it started as a fan theory, and then she included it, made it canon in the series, and I did not like that. The very last prompt is the Grinch. Name a main character you hate, no villains. There are quite a few perspectives within Into the Drowning Deep, which means I kind of consider the multiple perspectives as the different main characters, so to say. And there's the couple in Into the Drowning Deep who are like the killers, or like hunters, I guess. I hate them. I hated them so much. They were good characters. They were well-written characters, but I hated them so much. That is the end of this book tag. As usual, the prompts are down below in the description, and like I said, the original video and the original tag creator are down below in the description as well. As for home tagging, I'll try to tag more people in 2025 when I'm doing these book tags. But as for home tagging, for this one, I'm going to be just tagging anyone and everyone who wants to do this. Any Grinch fans who are also readers, go ahead and do this prompt. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my first video of 2025.